This is a knight. Knights are easily identified in a chess set by the fact that they usually look like a horse. In a chess game, the knight has a special L-shaped way of moving. It always moves 2 squares in one direction, then 1 square to the left or right. Some people find the knight's movement easier to remember if they think of it as 1 straight, then 1 diagonal. So from e5 you can either think of going 2 straight to e7, then 1 over to d7, or you can think of going 1 straight to e6, then 1 diagonal to d7. Whichever way you think of it, you'll end up with the same results. From this position on e5, the knight can move to d7, f7, d3, f3, c6, c4, g6, or g4. The knight has another special characteristic. It's the only piece that can jump over other pieces, both its own and its opponent's. Look at this knight on d4 and the highlighted squares to which it can move. Note that it can jump over the pawns on c5 and d5 to get to square c6. However, it cannot move to square f3 because one of its own bishops is already there. We'll move the knight to b5. Now look at this black knight on e6. Once again, it can jump over the white pawn on d5 and the black pawn on e5 to get to square d4. It can't go to square g7 because one of its own pieces is there. But it can go to square g5 to capture the white bishop. Knight takes bishop. In a game, the knight does its best work in the center of the board, where it can attack the most squares. There's a term, a knight on the rim is grim, because a knight along the edge attacks only 4 squares. The knight is considered to be less powerful than a queen or a rook because of the few squares it attacks. Even though it attacks fewer squares than a bishop, its jumping ability still makes it a valuable piece.